Hello there my fellow Whole Table Heroes, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. I'm back with another ships video, but this is not Fleet Arena, but territory battles, namely the Separatist Might, the Geonosis, or the Dark Side territory battle. So we are now here in Phase 4, going into the combat mission for the Fleet Zone. So if you had to platoon your Houndstooth, then I'm afraid this battle won't really apply to you, but still worth watching. So for the next time when it comes around, if you do have your Houndstooth, you can use this team and this strategy to easily beat the combat mission in any of the phases really. But I just want to show the phase 4 because it's supposed to be the hardest because it's the last phase. So now just looking at the ships that I'll be taking into the battle. So we obviously got Houndstooth, then we have Xanadu Blood, Imperial TIE Fighter, Special Forces TIE Fighter, then the remaining 2 Bounty Hunter ships, so Boba and IG, and as well as another tank, so in my case Sanfak, just in case of an emergency, but most likely we won't even need him. Alright, so just going through the ships now that you can see my levels. So Houndstooth, I've got the Gear 12 Bosk, so you do not need to have a Relic Bosk to make this work. Okay, now looking at Xanadu Blood, also Gear 12, and why Xanadu Blood is the second most important ship after Houndstooth is his basic attack, which inflicts breach for 2 turns. So what you will want to do is use Xanadu's basic to basically spread breach across the battlefield, and this will cause your Houndstooth to have a permanent taunt, never lose it, and the enemy ships, even if you're facing a negotiator, just don't have enough firepower to burn through a Gear 12 or even better Relic Houndstooth. This will allow you to just sustain your fleet throughout the battlefield while you're killing the enemies one by one. Okay, then next up, looking at the Imperial TIE Fighter. So this one's even lower, only Gear 11, but why I like to use Imperial TIE Fighter in the starting lineup, because when he uses his special attack, he gains foresight for 2 turns, and when enemy attacks it, it evades, and then this boosts turn meter to your capital ship, so your capital ship can get quicker out there using its own special and basic attacks. So now looking at the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter, you will want to bring this in as your first reinforcement, because if you look at the reinforcement ability, basically your allies will gain 40% potency, while enemies will lose 20% tenacity. Because as we know, in territory battles on the dark side, enemies have very high tenacity, and often it's very difficult to apply any debuffs. So if you can't apply breach on them, your Houndstooth will lose taunt, and then your fleet will get annihilated very quickly. So by bringing this in as your first reinforcement, it will allow you to very reliably apply breach on all the enemies, and you don't need to worry about Houndstooth losing his taunt. So I would say that Special Forces TIE Fighter is really like the MVP. While not the most important, obviously Houndstooth and Xanadu Blood are more important, Special Forces TIE Fighter is definitely the MVP of this fleet, because he just allows you to totally dominate the enemy. And additional bonus to having breached enemies is that the Bounty Hunter allies deal bonus damage equal to 10% of max health when they attack breached enemies. So this is a part of Xanadu's Blood you need, and that's the reason why I have the other 2 Bounty Hunter ships as reinforcements, because they can make use of all the bonus damage they can deal with breached enemies. So you can really quickly destroy the enemy fleet once you have the full fleet on the battlefield. Alright, so now it's time for battle. Alright. Okay, so yeah, it's up against Negotiator. Alright, so as you can see, the Imperial TIE Fighter is a very quick ship, so it'll get a turn very quickly. Maybe if you have him highly geared, mine's only Gear 11, it might even go before the first clone trooper goes, but in my case in my case I went second, so use his special attack to gain foresight. Okay, see now here the enemy attacked my TIE Fighter, which then boosts their meter to Thrawn that I'm using. Okay, there's one thing I forgot to mention. The capital ship you have to use here is Thrawn. He's a better capital ship for sure. Okay, so what I'll do here is use Thrawn's basic and ask Xanadu Blood to assist, so he can hopefully land the breach. Okay, first one resisted, second one successful. Alright, and now I'm not going to attack the first breached enemy because I don't want to kill him too quickly, because then I lose breach on the battlefield. So I'll just try and first spread breach across all the ships on the battlefield before I start taking them out. Alright, here I got lucky, so I got breach again. Alright, here we go. Now, no chance but to use basic. Alright. Okay, so as my first reinforcement, here comes the Special Forces TIE Fighter. I'm gonna target the last remaining enemy that doesn't have breached and call Xanadu Blood to assist, so he can apply breach again. And from here on out, you know, applying breach will be very easy. So here I got kind of good RNG that, you know, even without extra potency I was able to apply twice a breach, but I know from a previous experience that, you know, you're lucky to get one, let alone two. But even in this case there will be no breach yet on the battlefield. Just bringing in Special Forces TIE Fighter as the reinforcement, I would now be able to apply my first breach, so to make sure that Houndstooth keeps his taunt up, and from here on out will be very easy to apply debuffs including breach. You will see. Here we go, so calling it the assist, boom boom, ability block and breach, so no resisting here. Now all enemies got breach, we can just go start attacking them and killing them off one by one with that extra bonus damage. Okay, got cleansed, not a problem. Have to go after him now. Okay, first one resisted, second applied. Okay, here we go. So again, I'm just going to call Xanadu Blood to assist, so he gets a double tap and does bonus damage to the breached enemy. Okay. Alright, time to use the special attack again to gain foresight. Here we go. Applied breach again. You see, it's very reliable. Like Xanadu Blood will pretty much every time apply breach if you use your Special Forces TIE Fighter as the first reinforcement. And now I bring in IG, so he can as well double tap on breached enemies and do bonus damage to them. Alright. Again, you just want to spread breached on the enemies that don't have it. Call Xanadu Blood to assist. There we go. And again, we got breached all over the battlefield. Alright. It expired on one of the clone sergeants, so we'll have to reapply. Here I decided to save Thrawn's ultimate because this clone sergeant I was targeting here was almost dead, so I just decided to finish him off the old-fashioned way with basic attack. Okay, more reinforcements for the enemy. That's okay, just keep working on them. So as you can see, they just can't burn through Houndstooth. They do not have enough firepower. Even at gear 12 he's tanky enough to withstand all the attacks from them. Alright, now it's time to use the ultimate ability. I applied it to Xanadu Blood so he can get immediate turn. Apply breach again. Alright. So as you can see, our fleet is at full health, full protection, no issues whatsoever. Spreading breach. Really that 40% potency and minus 20% tenacity from Special Forces TIE Fighter reinforcement ability is really doing some magic here. Alright, one more ship to go. They brought in reinforcement. Alright, just delaying the inevitable. Alright, just keep attacking. Boom, boom. One more hit. Alright. Here we go. Breach again. Calling Xanadu Blood for his double tap. Oh, one attack was enough. Well, Negotiator doing its best, but this one is over, guys. Couple of more hits on poor Rexy boy, and one more hit. Boom, done. Now as you can see, this strategy works really well. there were no issues at all. It wasn't even close. All my ships were, you know, in good shape. I just called in 2 reinforcements and that was it. So if you get to keep your Hounds too, that you didn't have to platoon them, and you do have Special Forces TIE Fighter and a Xanadu Blood, I would suggest to try out this strategy because it works really well. That extra potency really does the trick. So I hope you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful. If you have opportunity, try it out next time, and you know, if you feel like it, let me know in the comments below. How was it for you? Did it work or not? And I'll see you in the next one, and may the force be with you, my friends.